welcome back to Backyard Toy Adventures. Well, I hope you've been enjoying my month-long series on Halloween and all of my monsters and ghosts and goblins. Well, I'm sure that you've seen the box art on most of these figures that I'm about to show you, but I will be showing you off my my glider collection. And this glider was given out in the demo Goblin wave of the Marvel Legends, and yeah, it's pretty cool, and pretty cool looking glider. And look like, I guess, a pretty cool looking, it's almost like a falcon or something. Anyway, it came with this this piece right here to hold it up different ways. Pretty cool. And also got this Goblin Glider. It's pretty cool. This kind of looks more like a, I don't know what you'd say, a penguin almost. Pretty cool. And then we have this glider, which looks like a bunch of clouds underneath, maybe. So dirt clouds is about it. Pretty cool. It's got the clouds underneath it. It's the smoke. Basically smoke going underneath him. It's pretty fair. And then we got this glider, which came with the new Goblin, which was Harry Osborn, not Norman. And then we also have this bad boy. It came with Norman Osborn figure from the Spider-Man movie. And then we also have this glider, which is pretty cool. It's got a lot of detail. And last but not least, we have this glider. It's pretty cool. Well, and this one came with the retro version of the Green Goblin, which most recently came out. My favorite Goblin came with this headpiece right here. Pretty cool. I gotta admit, it's pretty cool. You can really take a look at the headpiece. Norman Osborn. I remember the way Aunt May referred to Norman in Spider-Man in Tobey Maguire at the Thanksgiving dinner. I love it when she said that. Norman Osborn. Yep, let's take a look at the Green Goblin. Let's get him off the glider. We could take a look at him. There he is, in all his glory. Well, it's pretty cool figure. It's got all the basic articulation that you want in a Marvel Legend. Got a little 360 at the waist, and it's got the satchel. Pretty cool looking satchel. The basics of satchels. You gotta have a satchel if you're the Green Goblin. I like all the detail. They really put in a lot of attention to this texture in his legs and his arms. I like that. And then of course you got his gloves. Did a pretty good job on his gloves. And his boots. It's pretty nice. And basic articulation. All the way around there. Bend at the elbow. All the goodies. All the goodies of a Marvel Legend. Boy, he is definitely a goblin. That's for sure. Definitely what you can expect out of a goblin. I like his ears and his hat. I remember that movie with that truck. Where he's got his headpiece. Anyway, it's pretty cool. Where the trucks were in the vehicles were all killing people. And anyway, well, that, my friends, is the Green Goblin Retro. Let's take a look at our next family member in the collection of goblins. All right, here's my Marvel Legends version of Harry. This is the variant with his mask off. I also have the one with his mask on, but it's exactly the same. And it's a pretty fair figure. And it comes with the pumpkin bomb. I really dig the pumpkin bombs. And that's why I'm showing you these figures during Halloween. They're in my graveyard. And of course, it's got a satchel. And pretty cool looking satchel. And it's got a little button there. It almost looks like might be even a Shackle Lantern button of some sort, maybe. Or if I could, you guys can see it. It's pretty cool. And this has been my Marvel Legends Green Lantern, or Green, you can't call him the Green Lantern, the Green Goblin, and yeah, he's been that guy. Anyway, I don't know why I opened this one, but I don't know why I didn't open the other one, but he's still in the package. And I always wanted to have him as Norman Osborn. Anyway, now I have an extra head, and I'll go put it on a suited body. Yeah, that's Norman. It's pretty cool. And this pumpkin bomb. Let's take a look at the next member of our family. William Dafoe portrayed the Green Goblin in Sam Raimi's Avi Arad's Spider-Man, and I do believe it was around 2002. Anyway, yeah, and Sony's Spider-Man. Anyway, so it's a pretty cool figure. How he tries to convince Spider-Man to team up with him. He's got this 360 at the waist, no? Yeah, all the way around. Yeah, he did. He did it. How about his head? Yeah. You can look that far up. You can look that far down. That's about it. And even look down. It'll look about straight. He's got nothing at the elbow except maybe a twist around like that. Woo, 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 like a helicopter. A twist at the. He's got a twist at the. Got a twist at the wrist, and then a spin at the shoulder, and then he can spread his legs. Yeah, he can do pretty good at that. Anyway, he'll stand straight up and down. Pretty cool looking figure. I enjoy it. I also wanted to show you pumpkin bombs that came with some of these. It's pretty nice. The pumpkin bomber, almost. And there's this one right here. I like this one, I think. It's probably like one of my favorites for Halloween. And then there was this other one that came with one of them. Boy, this one's a little tiny little guy. It's almost like just a little ball. And then this one came with the Red Goblin. Let's go get our next Goblin member in our family. Shackle Lantern. I think he was actually from the, not the Marvel Legends, but more like the Spider-Man figure line. I'm not sure exactly when I got him, but I tell you, it's another one of those cool ones. You can really look at his menacing look. He looks more like a scarecrow than a goblin, but I keep him in my goblin collection. I think he's pretty cool. And he's got his belt. And pretty fair articulation, Marvel Legends style. So that's why I keep him in it. He's got some scales in his arms. They did some pretty good detail in there, I think. And pretty cool stuff. Basic articulation there. There's no... Ah, look at that. He's got a bend at the toe. Kind of wants to be a goblin, but I don't know. That is pretty cool. I like that. Yeah, I like it. I like the way it looks like that. Yeah, I really like it. Anyway, well, let's move on to our next goblin in our family of goblins. Okay, so what we got here is the ultimate goblin. It's more of the Hulk version of the goblin, but yeah, he reminds me, these little things on his arms is Superman's villain. I think it's Doomsday. Anyway, take a look at that mug. He's got the red eyes and his mean teeth. And they did a pretty good job. I enjoy it. It's not the best or greatest of the... Looks, you know what he reminds me of? Take a look at his ears. Yeah. Looks like the Abomination. It's like a Creature of the Black Lagoon type of ears. If you ask me. Anyway, that's a pretty cool figure. I keep them in my goblin collection. All right, let's move on to our next goblin family member. Now, this is the one goblin I have the least amount of knowledge of, being that it's in a new version of the comic books, and really not reading them. But I think it's a pretty cool figure. As you can see, he's got that goblin feel. One thing he's got is this extended tail, which really doesn't move anywhere. And look more reminds me with these little pieces on his arms is a Carnage villain of Spider-Man. And so look, it reminds me in this piece right here of Jack, the holiday Jack Frost character. That's what I'm thinking of when I see this figure. That's what I'm looking at. I'm really thinking about Jack Frost. Anyway, he's got your basic Marvel Legend type of articulation. He's a pretty fair looking figure, and he just stands pretty well. Okay, let's move on to our next Goblin family member. The Spectacular Spider-Man series. It's an animation show involving Spider-Man, of course, and the main antagonist would be the Green Goblin here. And this is his animation look to him. It's a pretty cool figure. It's not a Marvel Legends. It actually came from the Spectacular Spider-Man line. It's pretty cool looking. He's got the basic articulation. Pretty cool. He's got nothing going on at the wrists. And a bend at the elbow. You go back all that way. So, ooh, like a break in his arm. head turns all the way around. And he's got this upper torso, a little bit of give there. And it cannot twist around. There's nothing going on at the waist. Anyway, he's got this. He's got this little belt, which I think takes over maybe his satchel. But I like the fact that it has the goblin that pumpkin bomb face on his front part of his satchel or belt or whatever. And he's got a lot of articulation in the leg. And it's pretty nice. Get him in some poses. And he's got alright, that's it. Just a bend there at the feet. It's a pretty decent looking figure. I enjoy it. Alright, well, let's move on to our next family member in the Goblin series. Okay, we're back to A.V. Arrad's Spider-Man again, and this is the new Goblin, Harry Osborn. And pretty decent. You know, it's funny because it turns into it's a Build-A-Figure, a series figure. You had to build almost 8 characters, I think, to build a Sandman, which I never did. I didn't really care for the Sandman in that version. I had another Sandman at the time, so I never cared to get it. Anyway, came with that really surfboard type glider. This one here. And you can put them on there and chase down Spider-Man and through the alleys and really tight places. And anyway, he teams up with Spider-Man. Ends up being a anti-hero of sorts. He's got articulation. And he's got a little bit of a bend at the feet. He's got a little bit of a, just a little bit, nothing. Yeah, you can turn it all the way around. It goes all the way to the hip. He's got a upper torso twist there. And no, he's got nothing at the waist. He's got no ab crunch. His head turns around 360. And there's his weapon. I like the coloring right there. Go after Spider-Man. I don't like these goggles. I wish we could take these goggles off and see his face. I thought that you would be able to. Anyway, I guess not. I guess we are not going to see his face. Harry Osborn. Anyway, that's Harry. Anyway, let's go on to our next family member. All right, our next family member in the Goblin series is this amazing Spider-Man figure in the Classics line. And it's one I really dig. I'm really more into like the animation figures, and I enjoy it. And this is definitely one of those ones that I really was into, or has been always. And you can really see the details in him. And his feet, he did a good job. They really did a good job on the sculpt of this figure and the articulation. They did a lot of stuff with this figure. I And then he comes with, how many satchels do you need? He's got 2 at least. You got a smaller version of a satchel. And then he's got more of a bulkier version of a satchel there. He's got 2. He's got 2. He's got 2. Yeah. There's the Green Goblin. Anyway. It's a pretty cool figure. I gotta admit. I totally am. Totally enjoying this guy. I think he's great to pose. And he fits in really well in my graveyard. All right, let's move on to our next Goblin figure in our collection. Okay, next up is this very villainous looking monster type Green Goblin or Demo Goblin or Hobgoblin of all different kinds of sorts. Anyway, he's here. Let's take him off there so we can take a good look at him. Anyway, he comes with this. He comes with this cape. It's a sticky feel, like rubbery type cape, but it has a lot of detail in it. They did a good job. Make it look like it's old and tethered. And they really did a good job on it. And I enjoy it. It's heavy. It's not light at all. And it seems to be lasting its time. I enjoy it. Anyway, here is that Green Goblin. And take a good look at him. And we can really see what's going on with this guy. Man, he is really mean looking, you know? He has got that Halloween feel to him. Like he wants to get Spider-Man. And it's going to be Halloween when he does it. With his pumpkin bombs and gliders and his aerial tactics with his glider. And he's got a pretty cool, like a pilgrim type belt. And he's got some articulation here, but like I say, it's kind of sticky, so I had him for a while. And take a look at those boots. He's got that Goblin family belt or boot. And take a look at these articulation in the back of his shoulders. Butterfly joint. Take a look at this. And move his arms forward. And it just exposes the entire back inside of his body. And you can really see the innards of the figure itself. Which is interesting. Anyway, I thought that was kind of interesting. Yeah. That'd be the Green Goblin. Or the Hobgoblin or Demo Goblin. I think you could just call him everything but late for lunch. Anyway, I think it's more of a Hobgoblin almost. I think he used the Hobgoblin version. Anyway. Yeah, there he is. Scary. He is definitely one of those ones where I don't think the kids would grab him off the shelf as their #1 goblin. I think he's more of a collector's type goblin. And definitely one to really look out for. Because he is mean looking. And he He's a no-nonsense type goblin, that's for sure. And so let's move on to our next family member in the Goblin series. Now this one is definitely the Hobgoblin. Anyway, pretty cool looking figure. You can really take a look at his face. The Hobgoblin. Yeah, he's got his basics. He's got a really different little satchel button there. The Green Goblin. I think he stole the Green Goblin's satchel. Actually. Anyway. He's got this really cool pumpkin bomb. Showing it off to you. Pretty cool. Doing the old, he's more of a, got his pumpkin-esque type costume on, I guess. And he's got his goblin type boots on. And pretty pliable, a little harder than pliable as far as the cape goes. It's pretty good. That's the Hobgoblin version of. He's coming to get you for Halloween. Yeah, I'll get you, Spider-Man. Yeah, that's pretty cool, Goblin. I enjoy it. I am digging the Hobgoblin. It's probably one of my favorites out of this whole family of goblins. He's always on my shelf in my Spider-Man collections. Top villains. Let's check out the next goblin and the final one out of my series of family goblin. Now here is the demo goblin. He was a Build-A-Figure, and he had to collect a certain amount of characters to build him. And pretty menacing looking. You really take a look at this guy. And he is, I don't know, he's pretty ugly looking as well in comparison to some of the other goblins. Got his teeth going on. Oh my goodness. And red eyes. So red or orange? Anyway, and he's got this. Take a look at the belt. And that. Those eyes. Those eyes. Anyway. Yeah. Anyway. He's got ab crunch there. And he's got basic articulation everywhere you want. Marvel Legends. The demo goblin. Yeah. That's him. Yeah, and look at those hands, man. There's the attention to detail they did on this figure. Yeah, always, I'd say, sharp. So it's not like one of those ones that you want to give to your kids. You know, the detail they did in his arms there. And they did, it's a little sharp in the belt. Yeah. And the tethered plastic. Got a little give back there, which is nice. The back of his pretty nice. All the way around. Pretty cool looking figure, man. Pretty cool. Yeah, that's probably the scariest one, I think. Yeah, he's definitely getting the cake on that one. It's pretty scary looking. All right, we're going to put all of them together and put a wrap a bow, and I'll give you my last review on it, and see what we do from there. All right. Well, here's my last look at the my Goblin collection. It's pretty cool. Here they all are, all together. My family of goblins. And I have a new leader. The retro version of Spider-Man. The Green Goblin. I remember having a Green Goblin figure of when I was a kid, and it was pretty much it was basically the Spider-Man version of the Joker. Reminded me of. That was years ago. Anyway, now I have them in my collection again, and I enjoy them, and put them out for Halloween so you guys take a good look at them. Anyway, I hope you enjoy the review. If you like my video, remember to smash the like button, take a step further, and share, and show me that you care by subscribing, and keep you in the loop on my next video. We'll see you next time on Backyard Toy Adventures.